Hello, Rupen. Good afternoon, good evening where you are in Singapore. Thank you for being one of our jury chairs last week. I suppose it'd be great to kind of get your take on how was the experience?
Judging the best of the business is always a wonderful experience because I think it evokes various different degrees of emotions into each one of us as a professional. And sometimes it's pure jealousy because you wish you had thought of that amazing work. Sometimes it is pure awe and admiration for the team that thought of it. And at times when you come across entries that make you wonder, saying, how did they make it through the first round? And I think between all those various emotions, uh, what ends up making judging amazing is the quality of the entire jury. So I was very lucky, and I hope all the other two jury chairs were as well, that we had a most amazing, lively jury that was filled with debates, filled with diverse points of view. And that made the entire experience remarkable.
And that's great to hear. As a business, we have certainly been on a path of inclusion for the last 5 or 6 years. So we're glad, and we do want to ensure, as you say, that they are judged with people with very differing opinions, people who work in very different sectors or different parts of the world is always quite exciting. And it's interesting. You mentioned the quality of the work there. I was going to ask, what did you feel about the overall quality of the entrance you were judging?
So I think the last 18 months of the world we've lived in put a very different lens on the work because most businesses have had to pivot itself. Most businesses have had to deal with the unknown. Most of us have had to deal with all our usually best laid plans having to be rethought. And in context of that, there was some absolutely fabulous work. I mean, it was a bit of a hindrance that you guys as the organizers only wanted us to award one in each category. There was literally eventually in a lot of categories we came through to, okay, we think all these three deserve to win. So for all of you who are landing up as a notable mention, you should all feel extremely proud knowing that had we been allowed to give more than one award, you would have had a medal. Don't know the color, but you would have definitely had a medal on your virtual table. So in my mind, the notable mentions are as equal to the amazing winners that we will see tonight.
Great. No, I love that, and that's great to hear. We really, really do. And you talk about some of the campaigns. Was there anything that really stood out for you? Did you see a particular idea or a particular piece of work that really kind of was like, wow, I wish I had thought of that. That was impressive.
There's a fantastic piece of outdoor work done by Pedigree, where I think the use of outdoor, the use of data, the way they communicate, and the kind of results they got were just completely out of the park for us.
Great. That's great to hear. I love that. And on that, were there any particular trends or insights that kind of you felt flowed through the categories that you were looking at? I mean, in our previous award program so far this year, there's been a real shift towards almost cause marketing and marketing campaigns having a focus that gives something back to a local community or to underprivileged people, or just really helps change consumer habits.
Yeah, so purpose and purposeful work has been increasing over the years, and rightfully so, across our business. And I think we're slowly seeing the change from purpose as a small one-off advertising brief or a PR brief to actually sustainable purpose being part of business DNA, to being part of the business model, to becoming part of what brands do on an ongoing basis. And I think the big trend that we saw this year, and I think we'll see in the years to come, will be when purpose stops being a one-off brief, a one-off advertising brief, and becomes much more a action that you do that benefits people, planet, as well as prosperity for the company.
Yes, no, and that's great to hear. And I think that will change. You know, you see some of these campaigns, the huge significant cultural impacts they've had by what they've achieved through their campaigns in different parts of the world, which is absolutely wonderful, I think, for us.
It was amazing. So when we started judging, and I made this comment, it was literally, when you looked at the boxes that comprised our jury, you could go male, female, male, female, male, female. But then you looked at the places, and it was wonderful to see only 3 of our entire jury composition was from the UK. We had members from around the world. We had members from almost every industry you could think of different degrees of expertise. And I think the diversity of work that we saw only matched the diversity of the juries that were judging it. So, I mean, kudos to the organizers for representing a panel that only reflects the world we want to live in, rather than some of the anomalies of the past.
Yeah, which I think is a great place. And like we said before we started this conversation, there are some great changes, I think, that the pandemic has accelerated, and for a good reason. Obviously, there's some bad things, but there's also some wonderful things. And I think that being one of those is that realization that inclusivity can drive companies forward, can really drive that resonation with consumers.
No, and it is in common. Look, as a combined unit, all of us represent a very powerful force of responsibility. And I think it is upon us as the marketing fraternity, as the advertising fraternity, as the media fraternity, to actually live in a world we'd like to see and change some of the injustices of the past, because it'll be a big win for us as a world.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So look, Rupen, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much for your time last week. I'm sure you're as excited as our viewers will be on Thursday as to find out who the winners are.
I can't wait. And as I promised, I didn't tweet, but as soon as you're announced, I shall be tweeting about you. So congratulations on the great work.
Thank you very much. Well done, everybody. And thank you, Rupen.
Thank you.